Home Minister Amit Shah calls the police forces defenders of democracy, hails the sacrifices made by policemen. Shah also felicitates a number of police personnel for outstanding services, including the Olympic silver medalist Mirabai Chanu. Also highlights various initiatives for the Northeast, the centre to sign the Karbi Peace Accord in a short while from now. The BJP says the Jan Ashirwad Yatras started on the 15th of August have garnered massive support throughout the country. The party thanks the people of India. More than 24,000 kilometers covered and about 5,000 programs held during 15 days of the Yatra that concluded on the 28th of August. India's stellar performance continues at the Paralympic Games. Manish Narwal wins gold in the 50 meters pistol shooting, while Singraj Adhana wins silver. India's medal tally goes up to 15. The Prime Minister speaks to both the winners. The total COVID cases in the country in the last 24 hours show a 6% dip with 42,618 new cases. Kerala continues to register a record number of infections nearing 30,000. In Afghanistan, fierce fighting continues in Panjshir Valley, the last stronghold of resistance to the Taliban. Both sides claim victory. Namaskar and welcome to News Connect. My name is Mark Lin. Let's begin with our top story. Home Minister Amit Shah addressed the 51st Foundation Day celebrations of the Bureau of Police Research and Development. And the Home Minister felicitated a number of police personnel for outstanding services. Speaking on the occasion, the Home Minister said that various government initiatives taken during the last 7 years in various parts of the country, including the Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir, and the Home Minister said that these various peace accords too have been signed in the Northeast, and many people have joined the mainstream after they shunned the path of violence. Amit Shah said that during the last 51 years, the BPRD has ensured law and order situation in the country in different states.
जो चुनौतियां होती हैं वो देश के परिप्रेक्ष्य में आती है। सरकारें होती हैं, अलग अलग पार्टी की, अलग अलग विचारधारा की, अलग अलग सोच की होती है, कई बार क्षेत्रीय दलों की भी होती है। केंद्र में सरकारें कई बार मिली जुली आती है, कई बार एक दल की आती है। इस सब के हटकर अगर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को अपनी चुनौतियों के लिए सुसज्ज बनाना है तो उसके लिए उसको जोड़ने वाली एक कड़ी चाहिए। अदरवाइज ये कड़ी की उपलब्धता नहीं है तो देश का लॉ एंड ऑर्डर बिखर जाएगा। और मैं मानता हूं कि 51 साल में बीपीआरएनडी ने देश में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की दृष्टि से सभी राज्यों को जोड़ने वाली कड़ी का काम बहुत बखूबी किया है और अच्छे तरीके से।
Amit Shah also hailed the good work done by the police personnel during the pandemic. He said that there is a need to modernize the central armed police forces in view of emerging challenges.
मुझे लगता है सीएपीएफ का आधुनिकीकरण, सीएपीएफ का ट्रेनिंग, उसका संचालन और ऑपरेशन स्किल बढ़ाने के लिए बीपीआरएनडी ने काम करना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये नितांत जरूरी है कि हमारी भू सीमा और समुद्री सीमा दोनों सुरक्षित रहे और उसके सुरक्षा में कोई गोताही न हो।
On the occasion, the Union Minister, the Home Minister Amit Shah, felicitated the Olympic silver medalist Mirabai Chanu. Amit Shah said that the country is proud of Mirabai Chanu's achievement.
मीराबाई, आपको पदक मिला, देश के प्रधानमंत्री से लेके देश के छोटे से छोटे व्यक्ति तक सब लोग आपके प्रदर्शन पर गौरव कर रहे थे, ताली बजा रहे थे। और जब मैंने सुना कि आप ट्रेनिंग के लिए जाती थी, तब ट्रक ड्राइवर से लिफ्ट लेकर जाती थी, तब मुझे लगा कि खिलाड़ियों की सुविधाओं के लिए कितना करना अभी बाकी है, मगर फिर भी आपने बहुत संघर्ष किया। आपके कोच भी आए हैं, मैं उनको भी बधाई देना चाहता हूं और आपको आगे पर बहुत अच्छे परफॉर्मेंस के लिए शुभकामनाएं भी देना चाहता हूं कि चांदी से संतोष मत करिएगा, आप गोल्ड लेकर आइए, पूरा देश उसकी राह देख रहा है।
The BJP National President J.P. Nadda expressed his gratitude for the massive public support and appreciation of the Jan Ashirwad Yatras across the country, the BJP President said in a statement. The Jan Ashirwad Yatras were appreciated widely across the country. The people of India heartily welcomed the new ministers and lauded the Modi government for doing all-round development and progress of India. The Modi government has announced several pro-people and pro-poor policies and programs that have touched the lives of all sections of society. Modi government has taken several initiatives to boost India's security and safety and take our country on the path of prosperity and growth. The highly successful Jan Ashirwad Yatras covered more than 24,000 kilometers in 14 days, in which over 5,000 programs were organized. The entire credit of the success of the Jan Ashirwad Yatra goes to the people of India. As the National President of the BJP, I heartily thank and congratulate the people of our country and crores of BJP workers for showering their blessings. J.P. Nadda added that the tremendous success of the Jan Ashirwad Yatra, these are also proof of Vikas Yatra that the country has seen under the dynamic and decisive leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and the trust and support of all his cabinet ministers. He also said that the tremendous success of the Jan Ashirwad Yatras also are proof of the Vikas Yatra under the Prime Minister's leadership. Addressing a press conference, the BJP national spokesperson Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi said that the programs organized during the Jan Ashirwad Yatra were highly successful. Jan Ashirwad Yatras covered more than 24,000 kilometers in 265 districts across the country.
इस यात्रा में अनेक स्थानों पर जो कार्यक्रम हुए, हम लोगों ने 265 जिलों को 19 प्रदेशों में कवर किया है। 24,173 किलोमीटर की कुल यात्रा संपन्न हुई है। मंत्रिमंडल का वर्तमान विस्तार हुआ तो ये समाज के सभी वर्गों के लिए सर्वस्पर्शी और सभी क्षेत्रों के लिए सर्वव्यापक था।
And now, and also, in fact, he also lashed out at regional parties for promoting caste-based politics in the country. He said that the Modi government believes in सबका साथ, सबका विकास.
ये जितने भी स्वघोषित वंचित और शोषितों के नेता हैं, ये सबसे बड़े संचित धन के स्वयंभू सरमाएदार बन गए। इन्होंने वास्तविकता में अपना वर्ग तो छोड़िए, अपनी जाति को भी कभी वास्तविक सत्ता नहीं दी। मुलायम सिंह जी, श्री मुलायम सिंह यादव, हम लोग बचपन में सुनते थे धरती पुत्र मुलायम सिंह, आखिर में केवल अपने पिता के पुत्र के पिता निकले। बहन कुमारी मायावती आखिर में केवल अपने सगे भाई की बहन निकली। लालू यादव जी कहते थे गरीब गुरबा का सरकार, आखिर में कुनबा का सरकार निकला। तो इसलिए जो आपने बात कही है उसमें, और जो मोदी जी की संकल्पना है, सभी वर्गों को सम्मान, सभी को समुचित स्थान, इसे कहते हैं सबका साथ सबका विकास।
And now news from the Tokyo Paralympics 2020. Today is another great day for India at the Tokyo Paralympics. India have made a 1-2 finish in the mixed 50 meters pistol event in shooting. The gold medal went to shooter Manish Narwal, who shot a total of 218.2, which was a Paralympic record. And at the same time, Singraj Adhana also did exceptionally well to win the silver medal and scored a total of 216.7. And with this, India's medal tally has risen to 15. And the family of the shooter Singraj have celebrated his win in shooting the P4 mixed 50-meter pistol SH1. All overjoyed there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Manish Narwal and Singraj Adhana for their outstanding performances at the Tokyo Paralympics. Congratulating Narwal, the Prime Minister said, and I quote, "Glory from the Tokyo Paralympics continues. Great accomplishment by the young and stupendously talented Manish Narwal. His winning the gold medal is a special moment for Indian sports. Congratulations to him. Best wishes for the coming times." Congratulating Singraj Adhana, the Prime Minister said, "The outstanding Singraj Adhana does it again. He wins yet another medal, this time in the mixed 50-meter pistol SH1 event. India rejoices due to his feat. Congrats to him, wishing him the very best for the future endeavors." And the Noida District Magistrate and para badminton player Suhas El Yatiraj stormed into the finals of the Tokyo Paralympics today. Suhas, who has become the first civil servant from the country to represent India in the Tokyo Paralympics, won the men's singles SL4 semi-final in straight sets. The Indian shuttler defeated Freddy Setiawan of Indonesia 21-9, 21-15 to seal the match in 31 minutes. And Deepika now joins us with more inputs on this. Well, Deepika, a good show here, certainly for India. We are now at 15 medals, 3 gold, 7 silver and 5 bronze medals. So tell us a little bit now, there are still more medals that we can win, isn't it?
Exactly, and I think we are getting one more good news over here, as Pramod Bhagat is likely to get a gold medal very soon, as he is competing in the badminton event. He is a very strong contender, and with that medal we would be making it to a 16 number of total medals, and we are very it would not be a very difficult task to achieve, and we can say that we can easily, bang on to a number of 20 or 18 very easily right now, standing from here. And this is for the first time that India has exceeded its score of 12 medals. Mark, here the point that needs to be noted over here is that since the time India made their debut in Paralympics, they bagged a total number of 12 medals, and this was till the time of Rio Olympics and Rio Paralympics. That was in 2016. Till 2016, India had bagged a total number of 12 medals. But in this time, in Tokyo Paralympics 2020, India has crossed all records, broken all records with a total number of 15 medals, and we are still counting. 16th medal would be a possibility very soon. It would be a gold medal match, and
in fact, I think he may have won already, isn't it?
Yes,
I think that's the news that's breaking right now. So perhaps you can tell us.
Pramod Bhagat has won a gold medal in badminton. Yes, so of course, Pramod Bhagat has won a gold medal in badminton, and there is another player who's in a bronze medal contention right now. And with Pramod Bhagat, we are now standing at a number of 16. India has scored in the history 16 Paralympic medals, which is a historic feat, and especially in the times of pandemic, when there are so many challenges, when there are so many operational challenges, when there are so many mental challenges, there is a challenge in training. India has managed to bag a number of 16 medals and 2 gold medals in a single day. Manish Narwal opened the golden day for the country on Saturday morning with a gold medal, and now we've got another gold medal in Pramod Bhagat. Pramod Bhagat, yesterday only he's been tweeting that we would be playing tomorrow, we would be all set, we need your support, we need your cheers, and now he has made it possible. He was very confident since the beginning only, Mark.
Right, indeed. So there is news that's confirmed now coming out that Pramod Bhagat has won the gold medal. So this is India's 4th gold medal and 16 total, as Deepika was saying. But India is doing, more than winning the golds. There are also some records that are being broken, isn't it? Deepika, you can fill us in with some of those.
Absolutely, Mark. Avni Lekra, if you talk about Avni Lekra, 19 years old Avni Lekra is the only Indian woman now who's bagged 2 Paralympic medals in the sport of shooting. One is a gold medal and one is a bronze medal. And I think this has never happened in the Olympics event as well. We are still waiting for a medal in shooting in Olympics. However, in Paralympics, we now have 2 medals, and Avni Lekra has become the only Indian woman now to bag 2 Paralympic medals. One is gold, one is a silver, one is a bronze. Another feat is that Harvinder Singh bagged India's only medal in archery. He bagged a bronze medal. There is another feat athlete that Singraj Adana has bagged 2 medals. One is a silver, one is a bronze. We just saw the visuals where his family was celebrating, erupting in joy after Singraj Adana bagged a bronze medal today morning. And then again, we've got many other, there is Mariyappan Thangavelu and Sharat Kumar who bagged 1 silver and 1 bronze medal from the same event in athletics. So this again becomes historic in its weight.
So Pramod Bhagat has won the gold at the Tokyo Paralympics. This we also need to tell our viewers about this. So let's talk a little bit about Pramod Bhagat and his victory against Britain's Daniel Bethel in the summit clash. Have you got further details about that, Deepika?
So I've got the details here that the 33-year-old wins gold medal in SL3 category at Tokyo Paralympics right now.
Yes.
So Pramod Bhagat has won the gold medal in SL3 badminton category. Pramod Bhagat is a seasoned player, is an experienced player. He knows the big match pressure. He's already played Paralympics in the past also. He was there in Paralympics. Since badminton is making its debut this time in the Paralympics, we've seen badminton in Olympics as well. We've had Olympic medals, Olympic bronze medal, Olympic silver medal in badminton, but in Paralympics it is making its debut. And Pramod Bhagat with other athletes, they were all set. We were having one more contender who couldn't participate in this Paralympics. She was Mansi Joshi, but then Mansi Joshi was another hope who could have brought a medal for the country. But nevertheless, Pramod Bhagat, in its debut Paralympics badminton event, he brought a gold medal.
Indeed. So Pramod Bhagat in the original Paralympic event for badminton in the SL3 category has won gold for India, and this is India's 3rd gold medal in the current tally. So India now, or is it the 4th gold medal? It's the 4th gold medal for India in the current tally, taking India now to 16 total medals, and this is a tremendous victory, adding to the significant number of wins that are already there for India. And
it's
India,
a 4th gold medal.
yes,
It's a
the
4th gold medal.
Yes.
The first one was bagged by Avni, the second one was bagged by Sumit Antal, the third one was bagged by Manish, and now the 4th gold medal is bagged by Pramod Bhagat.
Indeed, and so there is still more even in the badminton. We have another potential winner, isn't it, that could take place in the is there more options that we have ahead of us?
Yes, absolutely. There are medal events today and tomorrow as well. One player is already there in the bronze medal match contention. Once the match is over, we will get to know the results. And tomorrow as well, we are having more events. And I think the Tokyo Paralympics is there till 5th of September. We would be having more number of medal events till then. And more number 3 to 4 more medals are still expected from the Indian contingent.
And what about let's talk a little bit about Singraj and Manish Narwal. This was 1 and 2 finish for India. That was pretty cool. What would you think? I mean, in shooting as well, there are some records also that are being broken here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Manish Narwal and Singraj Adana, both of them. Singraj earlier also he bagged a medal for the country. Today also he bagged another medal for the country. There are different events in the event of shooting only, parachuting only, that the players participate in. And Singraj, because if you compare the Paralympics with the Olympics, there is a categorical difference. But then again, if you look at it performance-wise, it is at par. Paralympic players are playing superbly. In the history, we are creating records by bagging number of medals in the shooting sport event, and we are this time in the same category. It was rather indeed very much historic to see that 2 Indian players are standing on the podium to waiting for their medal ceremony to take place, where one is waiting for a gold medal ceremony and the other one is waiting for a silver medal ceremony. And the again same kind of thing happened in shooting as well, where 2 Indian players were standing on a Paralympics podium, and both of them were waiting to get honored and to earn, to get the medal ceremony done. So this indeed in itself becomes really historic, that we are having two medals from that single event. Athletics was the one. We've got shooting also. We've got Avni Lekra also, who's in women's category. We've got Singraj Adana in men's category, who bagged 2 medals each for the country.
Great indeed. So certainly India showing the way Deepika, I'm told that we need to stay with the story, and you tell us a little bit about Pramod Bhagat, because this is the medal that has just come in. So perhaps if we can fill in more about how he won the medal and the match, the final match.
So there is another breaking news that we need to put in over here, that we've got a bronze medal as well. The medal that we were talking about, I'll get you more details shortly. And India has got its 17th medal. With a bronze medal right now, India has made to a total number of 17 medals. We were just talking about that 18 or a 20 figure would not be difficult. Would not be difficult for the country. And Manoj, I'm just getting the update. Manoj Sarkar in badminton has got the bronze medal. He defeated world number 3, Japan's world number 3 opponent in straight 2 sets, 22-20 and 21-13, to win the singles SL3 bronze medal category. Please pardon my views, because I've been trying to get you the latest update and latest medal update. And with this, India has bagged a total number of 17 medals. The latest one is a bronze, followed by yet another gold medal in badminton. Badminton is making its debut in Paralympics, and it has already 2 medals in its kitty on the same day itself.
Thanks very much, Deepika, for all those inputs. Now moving on then to our next story, and the Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Anurag Singh Thakur, felicitated the Paralympics Tokyo 2020 silver medalist Mariappan and his coach Raja B in New Delhi today. And speaking on the occasion, the sports minister said that Mariappan has made the country proud with his performance in Rio and now in Tokyo.
We have seen in Olympics, now in Paralympics, how Indian athletes have done extremely well. Let me congratulate Mr. Mariappan for his outstanding performance. He has won the silver medal for India. He has done us proud in Rio as well, now in Tokyo. Let me congratulate all the Paralympians, especially Mariappan, for being here, and congratulations. We are so proud of you. Thank you.
And the National E-Governance Division under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has signed an MOU with the National Law University, Delhi, and the National Law Institute, University, Bhopal, to establish a cyber lab for online capacity building program on cyber law, crime investigation, and digital forensics today. The goal of this program is to enable the police officers, state cyber cells, law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, and judicial officers to acquire requisite skills to deal with cyber forensic cases efficiently and effectively. The NEGD, in collaboration with the NLIU Bhopal, has taken this initiative to offer a 9-month online PG diploma to 1,000 officials through its learning management system. The proposed cyber law will be equipped with hybrid architecture, which supports both virtual as well as physical mode of capacity building in the areas of cyber law, cybercrime investigation, and digital forensics.
It's wonderful to see the distance we have already covered in building a wonderful online capacity building program on cyber law, cybercrime investigation, and digital forensics. It was difficult to imagine that this could get such an enthusiastic response from not just from the law enforcement agencies, but from a very wide spectrum across law enforcement, from additional DG to all the way to inspectors.
Well, moving on to our next story, which is COVID-19 situation in the country. So in the last 24 hours, 36,385 patients have recovered from the virus. And so far, over 3.21 lakh patients have recovered across the country. India's recovery rate stands at 97.43%. The country reported 42,618 new cases in the last 24 hours. The active caseload now stands at 4,05,681. The active cases presently constitute 1.23% of the country's total positive cases. The weekly positivity rate continues to be below 3% for the last 71 days. It's now 2.63%. The daily positivity rate is currently at 2.5%. The testing capacity across the country has been ramped up, and more than 52.82 crore COVID tests have been conducted so far. The Supreme Court Collegium has recommended 68 names for appointment as judges in the high courts in the country. At least 40% of the sanctioned strength of the judges are lying vacant in the high courts in the country. The Collegium has recommended 10 women candidates to judgeship in various high courts. Earlier this week, 9 judges took oath of office to the Supreme Court. This was the first time in the history of the Supreme Court that 9 judges had taken oath in one go. Their names were recommended by the Supreme Court Collegium on the 17th of August. The Union Minister of State for Information Broadcasting, Dr. L. Murugan, attended the state executive meet of the BJP's legal wing at Poonamali in Chennai. He launched a free e-library for lawyers and released the logo of the party's legal wing to mark the occasion. Addressing the gathering, he said that lawyers they play an important role in society and in aiding governance of the country. And lauding the launch of the e-library, he said it would enable lawyers of humble means to widen their knowledge at no cost. He added that knowledge sharing was an important part of the legal profession and the library would facilitate this process. Earlier, the Minister of State for INB, that's L. Murugan, Dr. L. Murugan, he visited a COVID vaccination camp at an urban primary health center in Maduravoyal. This is on the outskirts of Chennai. And speaking to the media later, Dr. Murugan said that vaccines may be supplied as per the needs of the state and there was no need for any concern in this regard. A high alert has been sounded in Bihar following heavy rains in the catchment area of Gandak River in Nepal. The state's Water Resources Department has issued the alert to all North Bihar district. This is as the reports of heavy rains were received from Pokhara district of Nepal. Pokhara has registered over 280 millimeters of rainfall yesterday. The water level of the Gandak, Bagmati and Kosi has risen and is expected to rise in the next 24 hours as well. So all the major rivers, including the Ganga, the Gandak, the Bagmati and the Kosi, are flowing above the danger mark in many places. The population of about 29 lakhs in 482 panchayats of 16 districts are in the flood affected areas of Bihar. So 53 people have so far lost their lives, in fact, in the flood and rain related incidents in the state. 29 teams of NDRF and SDRF have been deployed in the affected districts. This is to conduct rescue and relief operations. Medical teams have also been deputed to provide medical assistance in the flood areas. The state government has distributed 6,000 rupees per family as a gratuity relief to about 8 lakh flood affected families. The assessment of crop damage due to floods is being carried out. The train services on Darbhanga Samastipur rail section remains suspended for the 5th day. And Salman Haider now joins us with more inputs on this. So quite devastating the situation. Salman, fill us in with the details. You know, the government has given some sort of relief of 6,000 rupees to 8 lakh families.
Yes, the process is continuing and it is a continuous process actually. As the Panchayat gave the list of the names and families, the administration provides them the ex gratia relief of 6,000 rupees to buy essential items, food items, utensils, and clothes, etc. The situation was improving somewhat, but as you said already, yesterday heavy rain left the Nepal area where from where the Bagmati, Gandak and Kosi rivers, of course, Kosi river received water. So the water level in the Indian side is also bound to increase. As far as discharge from different barrages is concerned, it is already on a rising trend.
Right.
And as you know, Kosi barrage, from the Kosi barrage, 2,11,000 cusecs of water is discharged right now.
Okay.
And from the Gandak river, from Valmiki Nagar barrage, the discharge is also above 2 lakh cusecs. So these discharges and the water coming in from Nepal can affect the level of the all the major rivers like Gandak, Bagmati, and Budi Gandak, and Kosi also.
Indeed.
Khagadia is worst affected from the wrath of Kosi river flood. So
Indeed.
these are the things here. Yes.
So one of the concerns, Salman, is that the Kosi River tends to change its course. So that has happened in the past and caused significant displacement. So I mean, this could be one of the big concerns right now, isn't it? Especially with yes. Yeah, go ahead, Salman.
Actually, some noise is there, so I will conclude very fast.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much, Salman. Thank you for joining us. Moving on then, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath conducted an aerial survey of the flood-affected Siddharthnagar district of the state. The Chief Minister also distributed relief material to affected families at a camp. This happened in Siddharthnagar. The Chief Minister interacted with the flood victims. He assured them of all government support. He said that the government had already deployed NDRF and SDRF in advance for rescue and relief operations there.
एक बड़ी आबादी इस बाढ़ की चपेट में आई है। प्रदेश सरकार ने पहले से इस चीज को सुनिश्चित किया कि पीड़ित परिवारों के को समय से बचाव और राहत कार्य के लिए हम लोग व्यवस्था करें। एनडीआरएफ, पीएससी फ्लड यूनिट और एसडीआरएफ की यूनिट हर जनपद में, प्रभावित जनपदों में पहले से तैनात की गई हैं, जो बचाव और राहत कार्यों में अपना योगदान दे रही हैं।
Well, Assam witnessed further improvement in the flood scenario. A number of flood-affected people has come down to 2,71,128, and the number of villages reeling under water, the number of villages too has declined to below 1,200. This is under 53 revenue circles in 22 districts. The Golaghat is the highest number of affected people are in this area, and above 88,000 people, in fact 88,000 people, 88,000. The pace of improvement now seems to be slow as compared to Nalbari. In Nalbari, the people affected there, that number has come down to 31,000. This is from the earlier level, which was of 1,10,000, and that was in the last 24 hours. One more death has also been reported from Kolpada, and so now the total death toll in this season has gone up to 6 from flood-related incidents. Presently, there are 54 relief and also distribution centers across the state, and they are sheltering about 3,900 people. On the last leg of his three-nation visit, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will visit Denmark today. And during his visit to Denmark, which is on the 4th and the 5th of September, the EAM will co-chair the 4th round of the Indo-Danish Joint Commission meeting, along with the Foreign Minister Jeppe Kofod. The Joint Commission meeting will undertake a comprehensive review of the bilateral cooperation under the Green Strategic Partnership, which was established during the virtual summit in September of 2020. The External Affairs Minister will also call on the Danish dignitaries during his visit. And on the second leg of his visit, Dr. S. Jaishankar held bilateral talks with the Foreign Minister of Croatia, Gordon Grilic Radman. This is the first visit by an Indian foreign minister to Croatia. The External Affairs Minister tweeted, and I quote, "Fruitful talks with Croatia's Foreign Minister Grilic Radman, detailed exchanges on full range of bilateral cooperation, regional and global issues. Committed to working with him to take our ties to a higher level." The Foreign Minister of Croatia, Gordon Grilic Radman, tweeted, and I quote, "Welcoming my colleague, Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to Zagreb, and what is the first visit by an Indian foreign minister to Croatia, productive exchange of views on bilateral relations, EU-India relations and other topics of mutual interest." The External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar also called on the Prime Minister of Croatia, Andrej Plenković. He thanked the Prime Minister Andrej for warmly receiving him in Zagreb. Well, both the leaders discussed opportunities to further expand bilateral cooperation, including in the areas of pharma, digital and infrastructure. The External Affairs Minister appreciated the Croatian Prime Minister's insights. This is on the pressing global issues, especially on Afghanistan. And in a statement by the External Affairs Minister to the media and the interaction that followed his meeting with the Foreign Minister of Croatia, he said, "There are already companies from Croatia operating in India. Some of them have secured some important contracts, for example, in the railway sector. We would certainly welcome more active efforts to cooperate in the defense sector after the agreement which is being concluded." Tourism is another important area. In fact, just as we finished our talks, we were talking about expanding air connectivity between our countries. I think on international issues, we share a lot of common positions and perspectives. It was very apparent in our discussion on Indo-Pacific, on our discussion on Afghanistan, on our resolve how to counter terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. The Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla interacted with strategic experts from prominent US think tanks on regional and global issues and different facets of India-US strategic partnership. The Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla also met the US Undersecretary for Defense and for Policy Colin Kahl and discussed ways to advance strategic and defense partnerships. They also exchanged views on regional issues, Afghanistan, Indo-Pacific, and also agreed to coordinate on shared priorities ahead of the Flag of India, Flag of the United States ministerial, this is 2+2 dialogue, later this year. Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla has said that India and the United States will have a wait and watch policy with regard to how the situation evolves in Afghanistan, observing that the situation in Afghanistan is very fluid and moving fast. Shringla said that both India and the US are keeping a close watch on it. Responding on how responding to questions on India's stance on Afghanistan, the Foreign Secretary said that in the limited engagement that India has had with the Taliban, the new Afghan rulers have indicated that they would be addressing New Delhi's concerns.
We have to see how the situation evolves on the ground. I mean, are you going to immediately take steps? I don't think so. Are you going to calibrate your decisions according to what happens? I think that would be the case. How long that would take, nobody really knows. Don't forget that we are 1 out of 15 members, and we have to also see what the rest of the international community is saying. This is based on consensus. It is not like a resolution which is voted upon. Our engagement with them has been limited, and you know, it's not that we have a very robust conversation. But for whatever conversations we've had so far, I mean, they've been sort of, at least Taliban seem to indicate that they will be reasonable in the way they handle things.
The fate of Afghanistan's Panjshir Valley, the final holdout against the Taliban control, hangs in the balance. Taliban forces and Panjshir fighters have engaged in fierce clashes in the valley, with each side saying that it had inflicted heavy casualties on the other side over the recent days of combat. The Taliban spokesman Zabiullah Mujahid said that the Taliban forces have entered Panjshir and taken control of some territory. However, a spokesman for the anti-Taliban National Resistance Front of Afghanistan said it had full control of all passes and entrances to the valley. The spokesman said that NRFA forces had also killed a large number of Taliban militants on two fronts since clashes first broke out earlier in the week. Meanwhile, Amrullah Saleh, the former Vice President of Afghanistan and one of the resistance leaders against the Taliban, has said that he is still in the country. In a video message, he said that reports concerning his escape from Afghanistan are totally baseless, and Saleh said that resistance will continue and he is in Afghanistan and defending it. The Panjshir Valley has been the only region to hold out against the Taliban following their takeover of Afghanistan. Ahmad Massoud, the son of the late anti-Soviet resistance hero Ahmad Shah Massoud, has established himself in Panjshir, leading a resistance of several thousand strong, a force and also comprising of militia and remnants of the Afghan army and special forces units who are opposed to the Taliban. Massoud has called for a negotiated settlement with the Taliban, but he said his forces will resist if the mountainous valley is attacked. Meanwhile, the UK Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab said that Britain must deal with the new realities in Afghanistan as it seeks to secure the safe passage of UK nationals and Afghans who have worked for Britain. Raab's comments, they reflect the balance that countries such as Britain and the United States are seeking to strike in the aftermath of the Taliban's victory and the collapse of Western-backed government in Kabul. Western countries fear that a looming humanitarian crisis too is on the anvil in Afghanistan, and an economic collapse could create hundreds of thousands of refugees there.
We're focused on adjusting to the new reality that we face in Afghanistan. There are two particular priorities. One is making sure we can continue the safe passage out of Afghanistan of British nationals and Afghans that work for us. That may be possible via Kabul airport in the near future. I've been to Qatar to discuss that. The other point, of course, is the wider international strategy.
And the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will travel to Qatar on Sunday, and he will meet with the country's leaders and thank them for their help during the evacuation from Afghanistan. Blinken told a news conference at the State Department that he would meet with Afghans and workers in the Qatari capital, Doha. Blinken said the State Department was in constant contact with Americans remaining in Afghanistan who still wish to leave the country.
We're in constant contact with Americans who remain in Afghanistan and may still wish to leave. We continue to maintain channels of communication with the Taliban on issues that are important to us, starting with the commitment to let people leave Afghanistan should they choose to do so.
Well, Blinken will also visit Germany to lead a virtual 20-nation ministerial meeting on Afghanistan alongside the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas. Well, Blinken will also meet Afghans at the Ramstein Air Base in Germany.
Our diplomacy with allies and partners continues to intensify. That diplomacy has already produced a statement signed by more than 100 countries and a UN Security Council resolution that makes clear the international community's expectations of a Taliban-led government, including freedom of travel, making good on its commitments on counterterrorism, upholding the basic rights of Afghans, including women and minorities, and forming an inclusive government and rejecting reprisals.
The United Nations will convene an international aid conference in Geneva on September 13 to help avert what UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called a looming humanitarian catastrophe. Guterres said in a post on Twitter that we need the international community to stand together and support the Afghan people. And we see that a major humanitarian crisis is looming in Afghanistan. This is what the UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, has warned. Amid the ongoing uncertainty about the situation for vulnerable Afghans seeking shelter across the country's borders, UNHCR spokesperson Babar Baloch said the reality is the displacement crisis is inside Afghanistan, with more than 600,000 Afghans displaced this year, 80% of which are women and children. So Meghna joins us with an update on this very fluid situation in Afghanistan. Meghna, let's start with government formation in Afghanistan. What is the update you have?
Mark, we are expecting that the announcement on the government that the Taliban is going to form, the announcement can come, anytime, in a couple of days or maybe anytime soon. But besides that, obviously, what we are collecting through news reports is that Akhundzada will obviously be the supreme religious leader. That's what we are collecting. Besides that, we also know Stanikzai or Mullah Baradar and Yaqub, for that matter, will also hold some important positions. And what is being also said that Mullah Baradar may also head the government. That is what is being said. But obviously, an announcement of the entire government, and the very important thing is that the structure of the government, how the structure will be decided. Will it be having heads of different provinces? Will it be having different sectors which will be headed by other Taliban leaders, for that matter, is to be ascertained, and we were waiting for that announcement. Besides that, also we know the profile of these people. Stanikzai has been very active in the, he has been a very prominent face and very active, especially during the negotiation talks and all of that. So besides that, we also know that the situation there is the Taliban going to have an inclusive approach to forming this government, or obviously it will have some difference in what it says and its actions on the ground.
Indeed, Meghna, the other concern is that the U.S. The Secretary of State is going off to Germany, and he is going to hold a virtual G20 meeting alongside the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas. Now, the question that comes to people's mind is, what's the U.S. doing? I mean, the U.S. has withdrawn from Afghanistan. What's it still meddling over there?
Mark, there are still a number of aspects that are to be still, settled, in the sense that there are still people stuck there in Afghanistan who want to move out from there. So even the German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas had said that Taliban will be judged by its actions and not by its words. So he's going to Germany. The Secretary of State Antony Blinken is going to Germany. He will be holding a meeting there as well. So definitely that is on several fronts. The first being that the safe passage will be allotted to, once the Kabul airport becomes operational, safe passage to people who want to leave out from there. Besides that, safety and security of the people. Besides that, how will the women rights and the children's future will, their rights will be upheld. The humanitarian crisis that is unfolding, the economical crisis that is unfolding. Besides that, we are actually talking about the humanitarian crisis, but we are the humanitarian aid. But we also must not forget that there is a lot of developmental aid also that was being given to Afghanistan, since a long time. And what will happen to these developmental projects, because a number of countries have stakes in it. Also, India has almost one developmental project in every province there in Afghanistan. So definitely, it becomes important on that aspect as well, because we know that the price rise, the prices are rising there. Women are very uncertain of what the future holds for them. So all of this is, a matter that is to be discussed. Besides that, a very important matter of the refugee crisis that is, that is coming up. That is very important. Also, the European Union a few days back has said that they are doing a risk assessment, threat assessment, terror threat assessment through the Europol that is being carried out. So, the Afghan soil will not be used for any terror activity or as a terror launch pad. That is also one thing that, several countries, the Western countries, are trying to ascertain, and through talks and the humanitarian aid for that matter as well.
Thank you very much, Meghna, for your inputs. Moving on then to our next story. This is an update on Hurricane Ida. And the death toll now has risen to nearly 4 dozen. This happened Friday, that is, as the East Coast cleaned up after the remnants of that storm Ida unleashed destructive tornadoes as well as record rain and floods. The toll was the highest in New Jersey. 25 people had died due to heavy rains there. The U.S. President, Joe Biden, toured neighborhoods in the hurricane-hit Louisiana. He did so on Friday, promising the residents that authorities are doing all they can to restore power after the widespread outages there. So Biden made these comments while visiting La Place, which is a small community about 35 miles west of New Orleans that was devastated by flooding, downed trees, and other storm damage.
Hurricane Ida is another reminder that we need to be prepared for the next hurricane, and superstorms are going to come, and they're going to come more frequently and more ferociously. I've been working closely with the governor and our colleagues in Congress in both parties on my Build Back Better plan that will modernize our roads, our bridges, our water systems, sewers and drainage systems, and power grids and transmission lines to make sure they're more resilient.
Meanwhile, the cleaning up process is underway after rising flood waters from Ida trapped residents in their homes. In Conshohocken, the firefighters were knocking on the doors, door to door they were going, looking for assistance, offering assistance while workers repaired the power lines and the damaged structures there. The communities across Mississippi, they are also cleaning up the damage left behind by the Hurricane Ida. Recovering efforts were also underway. This is in Mullica Hill, which is in New Jersey, and there a tornado had ripped through that area, leaving 9 houses destroyed. Ida struck the Gulf Coast on Sunday. It was a Category 4 storm, and it marched northwards through the eastern United States, culminating in high-intensity rains and fast-rising floods in Pennsylvania, in New Jersey, in Connecticut, as well as in New York. Britain's vaccine advisors have said that they were not recommending the universal vaccination of 12 to 15-year-olds against COVID-19, preferring, in fact, to take the precautionary approach to assess its long-term impacts of the rare heart inflammation. So the Independent Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunization concluded that the benefits are insufficient to support a universal offer of mass COVID vaccinations for all healthy children in this age group. However, it has recommended that an even wider group of the same age with underlying health conditions should be given the COVID jab. The committee said it would consult medical advisors and a final decision is yet to be taken. It also highlighted that there was a small benefit to children from receiving COVID-19 vaccination. The president of Peru, Pedro Castillo, has ordered the vaccination of teachers, highlighting that educators are soldiers of the country. On Friday, a mass immunization rollout for teachers in urban areas of Peru has been launched, and the country is now getting ready to reopen schools in the coming months. The Peruvian president also attended the vaccination day in Lima, and he said that schools will reopen once all teachers and the administrative staff there get immunized. Peru has vaccinated nearly 60% of teachers in rural areas with both doses. The country's education ministry expects to inoculate over 1,77,000 teachers in the next 2 months. The country's parents have appealed to start physical classes again amid the easing of COVID-19 restrictions. Peru has reported over 2.1 million COVID cases so far, with just over 25% of the population fully vaccinated. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Pramod Bhagat on winning the gold medal. We had broken that news a little earlier in the bulletin. And in a tweet, the Prime Minister said Pramod Bhagat has won the hearts of the entire nation. He's a champion whose success will motivate millions. He showed remarkable resilience and determination. Congratulations to him for winning the gold in badminton. Best wishes to him for his future endeavors. And while congratulating Pramod Bhagat, the Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said Pramod Bhagat scripts history to bag the first ever gold medal in the men's singles SL3 event at the Paralympics, a remarkable achievement. The four-time BWF champion adds a Paralympics gold to his name. And on that note, we conclude News Connect for today. Thank you very much for being with us. Namaskar.